Oh, the Iron Hulk. One of only 4 big bads in all of Don't Starve Hamlet, and considered one of the biggest and baddest there is. But should it be? Yeah, sure, it's got lasers, mines, portals, stomps, and chomps, but the thing only has 3,000 health, folks. That's nothing to any of you Don't Starve Together players out there, and with a little speed and know-how, I truly believe you'll come to see just how bloody easy this hulking piece of metal can actually be. So let's get to it. But first things first, we need to build it ourselves. Yes, everyone, we build the ancient machine that was just trying to murder us a second ago with our bare hands. But to do so, will require 6 separate pieces to come together as one. So we need to find them. Now, world generations will differ, of course. However, Iron Hulk pieces tend to spawn in biomes known as battlegrounds. And battlegrounds have patchy turf and burnt trees, so make note there. Plus, although this isn't always true, mind you, the pieces do tend to spawn in relatively close groups of 3, so there's that. But again, every world will differ. Take this one, for example. A world that spawned a piece on an island, therefore the only way I would ever be able to get it off would be to teleport it, which is actually kind of appropriate for a segment later today, but for now, screw you, game. But here's where the fun begins. Chances are that your first encounter with an Iron Hulk piece will be an uneventful one, as they spawn in a dormant state. But we can change that by mining individual pieces, and after a small yet still random amount of hits, they will wake up and not be very happy about it. The head here deals 68 damage and will leap into the air to target our last position, so dodging it should not be an issue. The legs, however, yes, you heard that right, plural, will act all the bloody same as the head. So you should already have a leg up on handling these things at the end of the day, so I'm not even going to go into them. But the ribs here look big and mean. And its laser might scare you, yes. But as long as you are not close to it when it's actually firing said laser, you should be totally fine. Especially if you're moving around it as well. And by the by, many folks swear by infinitely farming iron using the ribs, as they give more time to actually mine them for iron itself, but the head or legs aren't bad options there either, so make notes. The arms, though, the arm should not be among those options. It too fires lasers, and while it does so in a straight line, it does tend to correct its aim way better than the ribs do, which is not great. Because while the arms deal the lowest amount of damage out of the bunch, the laser actually hits more than once per shot, so be aware of that. In fact, just remain cautious throughout the entire process of bringing each individual piece together, as any one of their attacks can be absolutely devastating. But get pieces together and they will do the rest for us, which is nice. However, mind how mining constructed pieces will actually break them again. So be sure to plan where you're actually bringing all 6 together beforehand to save time and frustration. But before we get to the fight, here are a couple last notes about Iron Hulk pieces themselves. Lightning from any source can also activate each individual piece, and when a piece does become active via a lightning strike, it will remain active far longer than it would if we had just simply mined it ourselves. But lastly, come the morning of the apocalypse, all 6 Iron Hulk pieces will automatically wake up and remain active forever up until the apocalypse itself has been ended. Be mindful. But enough faffing about. The fight is on, folks. Bring all 6 pieces together in any location you choose, and the large Iron Hulk will be born. As mentioned prior, the ancient hunk of metal sits at 3,000 health and has a crap ton of different attacks. One of which sees it shooting out 3 to 5 mines around itself, which are activated upon us getting too close to them and deal 100 damage each, even to nightmares. In fact, all of the Iron Hulk attacks can deal damage to nightmares, so make note there, I suppose. But it tends to begin each battle with this mine attack, and then it goes into its melee phase, where it attempts to chop at us for 200 damage, so be mindful there. So to keep safe, you should only get 2 to 3 hits in yourself during these attacks, and as always, speed is gonna help with that. After a while, however, the attacks get even more varied, as the thing will start teleporting itself around the battlefield and coming back with a grand old slam that does insane damage. Thankfully, it tends to not target us with this attack, so that's nice. But by the way, use this time to clear the mines if you can. You're gonna be thanking yourself later. But another attack of its is his medium-ranged laser ball thing that it likes to shoot in batches of 3 or so before returning to melee, but these do target our last position, so just keep moving. But folks, here's where our chances to get melees in ourselves become a bit more dangerous. Eventually, the Metal Beast will introduce a short-ranged laser attack that deals 200 damage to anything around it. As you can see, it will spin said laser in a circle. You can see this attack coming by watching its mouth charge up, so make note there. But this attack is unfortunately not alone. Once it gets low in health, it'll start slamming the ground beneath it to form a ring of basalt eruptions meant to trap us in with it. Now these are actually quite avoidable, and it will probably have to blast its way back to you afterwards with this ranged ability we just mentioned, but it will continue to spam these eruptions over and over and over again, and if you're near it while it hits the ground, it's gonna deal a lot of damage, mind you. But it will keep up this very pattern of attacks until it's dead. You should make note that after it does its spinny laser thing, sometimes it does it again, sometimes it goes for a melee, sometimes it does whatever bloody heck it wants. It all depends on where you are in the fight. That's why you just gotta remain vigilant throughout it. But do just that by staying on your feet and waiting for its melee phase, and soon enough, it's gonna be the dead one. Good stuff. Be mindful though, you're not exactly out of the woods yet. The Iron Hulk explodes when it perishes, and that explosion also deals massive damage, so be extra aware of that. However, this explosion also sends all 6 pieces scattering somewhere on whatever island you happen to be on when the Iron Hulk dies. And as you can see, that could lead to some issues at the end of the day. They don't go far, which is good. But may I suggest a potential solution to this anyways? Cause let's think about this for a second. If the pieces scatter on the island where the Hulk died, then why not kill the Hulk on the smallest island in the game? Yes, everyone, teleporting and eventually killing the Iron Hulk to and on the BFB island will result in all Iron Hulk pieces being super duper close to each other and ready to roll. As yes, you can do this fight over and over and over again if you wish. But Beard, how do we even manage that? Where will we get the living logs and purple gems needed to teleport 6 separate pieces to the island in Don't Starve Hamlet? Well, first of all, who the heck said anything about having to do all 6 separately? You can just complete the Hulk and send it over all at once at the end of the day. Still, if you need the living logs for staffs or weapons, then the Elder Mandrakes on the Palace Island are your best bets. And as for the purple gems, tossing nightmare fuel into the Enswell, found in the ancient Herald Pig ruins on the 5th island, mind you, leads to tons of them, so there you go. That, or you can just get lucky with smashing pots in the other ruins, or the petrified eggs on the BFB island itself. And by the by, the 5th island is accessed by going through the other ancient Herald ruins found in the Gas Rainforest on the Spawning Island. So make notes. But folks, it's time we wrap up today with the living artifacts. The Iron Hulk will drop the blueprint for it alongside the infused iron needed to craft it. However, the magic water will have to come from a different place, specifically the Fountain of Youth on the Pugless Island. But the living artifact here is a literal suit of ancient armor that will heal us to max stats, allow for us to continue to mine, chop, dig, and hammer, make us invincible, all the while giving us 68 melee and 100 range damage at the end of the day. Grant us night vision, cause why the heck not? Protect us from poison, cause why the heck not as well? And will also protect us from all weather effects like fog, rain, freezing, and overheating. Yes, folks, it's good. Really good. Use it wisely and sparingly, however, as it only lasts for 3 minutes. Then you have to kill the Iron Hulk again. And there you have it, everyone. Our penultimate Hamlet boss guide, all about the Iron Hulk here. If you want to recruit some pig guards to help you, or just to act as fodder, then go for it. If you want to blow the dang thing up with gunpowder because it only has 3,000 freaking health, then go for it. You want to use it or its separate pieces to mine stuff for you, or just defeat other mobs, then go for it. Folks, all this was the basics, just to show you just how accessible this fight truly is. Get her by some speed, get her by some weapons, get her by some armor, and get her by some healing, and you're gonna be good to go. It's Hamlet. Preparing for bosses is hilariously easy, and this boss fight in particular is easier than it looks. Thanks for watching, folks. Well wishes to all, and I'll see ya in the apocalypse. Bye-bye.